Under the low, flickering lights of a packed arena, an epic confrontation was about to unfold. Two legendary figures in the world of martial arts faced one another, each embodying a unique philosophy of combat. Pat Roach, known for his towering presence and raw, unyielding strength, stood across from Dan Inosanto, a master of speed, precision, and strategic ingenuity. The tension in the air was palpable as the crowd waited in breathless anticipation for a showdown that promised to be a clash of power against technique. From the opening bell, both fighters demonstrated why they were revered in their fields. Roach, whose imposing physique had earned him a reputation as a formidable force, launched with powerful, thunderous strikes. Every move he made was infused with a kind of raw energy that only years of relentless training and sheer physical might could produce. His advantage was evident in his devastating power. Each blow carried a force that could shatter defenses and intimidate even the staunchest opponents. Yet, this reliance on brute strength came with a cost. His attacks, while forceful, sometimes followed a predictable pattern, leaving him vulnerable to a more agile adversary. Dan Inosanto, on the other hand, exhibited a stark contrast in his approach. With years spent mastering diverse martial arts disciplines, Inosanto moved with a fluidity and grace that seemed almost ethereal. His expertise in Jeet Kune Do and Filipino martial arts allowed him to read his opponent's moves and adapt on the fly. Inosanto's strategy was not to meet power with power, but to outmaneuver it entirely. His strength lay in his speed and his ability to counter swiftly, turning each defensive maneuver into a potential counterattack. Although his stature did not command the same raw intimidation as Roach's, his nimble footwork and precise strikes compensated by creating opportunities that often caught his opponent off guard. As the battle raged on, the dynamic between the two fighters became increasingly clear. Roach's powerful advances were met by Inosanto's deft evasion. Each time Roach attempted to dominate with overwhelming force, Inosanto would sidestep or parry, exploiting the brief moments when his opponent's guard was down. The match evolved into a sophisticated dance, where every punch and kick was both a threat and a calculated risk. Roach's aggressive style, while impressive in its intensity, began to show signs of fatigue. The relentless pace of his heavy blows gradually sapped his stamina, exposing a critical weakness in his otherwise intimidating arsenal. Inosanto, by contrast, maintained a calm, measured rhythm throughout the bout. His training had taught him not only to conserve energy but also to seize upon the smallest opening. As the fight progressed, his ability to read the situation became increasingly apparent. A decisive moment arrived when Roach, in an attempt to overpower Inosanto with a barrage of strikes, left himself momentarily exposed. Inosanto, ever the tactician, seized this fleeting chance. With a flurry of rapid, well-placed strikes, he disrupted Roach's momentum, sending shockwaves through the arena. That critical exchange marked the turning point of the battle, as the tactical superiority of Inosanto began to overshadow the raw might of his opponent. By the time the final bell rang, it was indisputable that the victory belonged to Dan Inosanto. His triumph was a testament not only to his exceptional technical skills, but also to his deep understanding of martial arts strategy. Inosanto's ability to neutralize Pat Roach's formidable power with agility and precision had secured him a well-earned win. The bout was a vivid illustration of how the art of combat is not solely a contest of physical strength, but also a battle of intellect, timing, and adaptability. This legendary showdown between Pat Roach and Dan Inosanto will forever be remembered as a masterclass in martial arts strategy. Roach's unyielding power and imposing presence provided a stark contrast to Inosanto's fluid technique and tactical brilliance. In the end, it was Inosanto's ability to harness speed and insight that prevailed, offering a timeless lesson in the virtues of adaptability over sheer force.